I'm going to be ruffling some very specific feathers today, but they are definitely going to get ruffled. So there's two types of people in any fandom, every fandom, that I do not like, and I get into arguments with, not because of the specific things they say, but fundamentally as people, how they act. And these two groups are Powerscalers and shippers. I think I've talked and touched upon Powerscalers in the past, but we're gonna get a little bit more in a deep dive with them with this video. And then the cringe lords themselves, the shippers. And I even wore this My Hero Academia shirt for the occasion, talking about the toxic side of fan bases, notoriously My Hero Academia. Now, no fandom is absent of these types of people. Absolutely no fandom. Every fandom has them, some louder than others, but do not judge an entire fandom for what the crazy ones do. And definitely do not judge the show based off the crazy fandom. So let's touch upon Powerscalers first. For those who don't know what a Powerscaler is, it's a person who scales the power of a character. And the criteria of said scale is usually on what they can destroy, which is automatically a dumb meter, which is what's fundamentally wrong with power scaling as a whole, among literally everything else about power scaling. So if you could, only destroy a hill or a house, or you could be mountain, state, continental, world, universal, multiversal, omniversal, or whatever the fuck. What you could destroy is where your power level is. And people have arguments and video essays and other dumb shit about what characters are stronger based off of this dumb scaling. And I like to say none of it matters. When creators are creating a character, the power scaling is within its own universe. And it's really what the writer deems fit at that moment. A good writer will make it logical within the world, but they will write the plot for who they want to win in that moment. Power scaling means nothing because it's just writers being like, okay, well, I want this guy to win, so he's gonna either have something or do something that allows him to win. There is no who will win this fight, fucking Ichigo or Goku or Naruto or Luffy. It's whoever the fucking writer decides to win at that moment. That's who wins. Done. Easy. Bam. And even if we are trying to look at it at a objective scale, what they can destroy doesn't take into account their battle IQ. There's plenty of times that heroes are facing massive odds and fighting a person who is technically stronger than them or has abilities that counteract their own very well, but the hero gets an idea, or they're smarter, or in lots of Luffy's cases, not every case, Luffy's sometimes smart. In a lot of Luffy's cases, it's just perseverance. But battle IQ matters. Naruto versus Neji. Neji at that moment, pre-Naruto using Kurama power, in the Chunin exams, was the better ninja. But Naruto outsmarted him at the final moments. And he was practicing on using his extra chakra, which did help. He does have main character syndrome a little bit, but that doesn't take away the smarts of what Naruto did. His battle IQ is high. The Neji versus Naruto battle isn't the only case. Every fight Naruto's in, he tends to outsmart the person, even if he's not stronger at that moment. Until the end of the series where he becomes a god. But whatever. There's a lot more nuance in fights than, oh, well, Goku could defeat Ichigo because he could destroy a planet easier. Meh. But even then, why do you care? How do people make money off of power scaling? It's so abstract and it doesn't matter. Writers don't write stories just so characters could fight each other and then be like, well, my character is stronger than this character in this other series. They just want to try to write a good story and then have a good power system within their story to make things make sense in the power system. Now, this is definitely more so of an anime thing than a video game thing, for sure. You don't really see power scalers in the video game scene. There's like a very big suspension of belief. The biggest thing we have is Mario versus Sonic, which, by the way, Sonic wins 100% of the time. Mario has actually nothing on Sonic, if we're going to go by, if we're going to argue power scaling. But I digress. Power scalers, it's a fun little, like, talk to have, like, amongst friends, right? Like, just saying, like, oh, well, why would this character win over this character? But the fact that people, like, take it so seriously as they do and make it such a thing is what irks me. When people think these are objective truths and people argue that this character that I like is better than the character that you like because he is stronger. Goku's the best character of the old anime because he could kick all their asses. There's a lot of characters who are a little more 3D in personality than Goku is, and stories that are much more involved and things that I care about a little bit more than Dragon Ball. I'm not saying Dragon Ball isn't a fantastic foundation of modern anime, and where I'm not saying Dragon Ball isn't important, but I'm saying like Dragon Ball Z isn't better just because Goku is as powerful as he is. Like, my favorite anime of all time, it's not even close, is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, specifically Brotherhood, because the writing is fantastic, the characters are fantastic, even if sometimes it gets annoying, but it's as close to a perfect anime as you're gonna get, in my eyes. Edward is getting folded by the entirety of the Z Fighters. Like, they are insanely superhuman strength. Not even talk about the Saiyans, but like Krillin could probably still destroy the Earth. But that doesn't fucking matter. But that doesn't make him a better character than all of Full Metal just because he can defeat them. Full Metal is still, I believe, the better story. And I think it's a better story than most other animes. It's my favorite anime. Power scaling doesn't matter. People take it way too seriously. Again, it's a fun little topic to talk about with people, but it shouldn't go past, chilling and being like, oh, well, who would be who? As you grab another beer or whatever, Like, it's not even close to that serious. What I care about in an anime or video game is obviously gameplay, but also, like, the story and the art. That's what I give a shit about. I don't give a damn how powerful a character is. I could write a character like who eats planets for breakfast. That's not a feat that matters in this, because you could write any character to be anything. It doesn't matter. What matters is if there's a good story. That's the only thing that matters. Good story and good art / animation. Now let's go to the cringe. Oh god. They're going to be out to get me. They're not going to like this one. But shipping is cringe. It's insanely cringe. I can't. Every time. Shippers are some of the worst. Like, power scalers are annoying, but shippers are a new level. They're absolutely a new level, and I think they definitely ruin fandoms more than anything. While power scalers are mostly toxic and mostly just fanboys of the big three and or Dragon Ball, shippers are a new level of obsessed and attached that is unhealthy, to say the least. My base opinion is let the romance of the series play out. Just let it play out. See the signs of like two characters that are going to get together, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna root for this relationship that is clearly being built in the story. And if something bad happens, then I could be sad that it didn't work out, because I could see that they would have worked together within the story, but then it didn't because of whatever. Being invested in a story isn't the issue. It's being so invested in two fictional people getting together that you will build subreddits over, you'll have arguments over, and if it doesn't happen, you're going to send death threats to the creators because you don't know how relationships work, and you think just because two characters had good banter with each other, that means, oh man, well, they're totally gonna fuck. And the two biggest I see this in is My Hero Academia and, oddly enough, Sonic the Hedgehog. I think mostly it's because these characters are not romance first, and the writers aren't writing their stories with romance as a major plot point. So people can create these ships and put all these characters together because there is nothing totally solidified as far as relationships go. Most of the series, there are clear connections. Like, okay, well, this character is definitely with this character. But then people are like, well, I ship these two side characters, or the main character should have just been with this other person because I like them better. And then all the shippers give me, I forgot her character, major villain, the chick who takes blood so that she could copy your look. That's the vibe. Like, that's the emotional vibe I get from shippers in any given fandom. Like, My Hero Academia, shipping got to the point of people thinking just because Bakugo and Midoriya start becoming friends that they're gonna, one, both turn gay, which there was no indication that either of them were any sorts of gay in any way. And clearly, Deku has something for Ochaku. But again, they're suddenly going to become gay, and then they're gonna fall in love with each other just because they started being cordial with each other. Like, it was not even like any sort of hint. Not even close. It's just fetishes. It's just people fetishizing these characters because they like the two characters and they think they should be together just because they like them. Even though, even if they're gay, that relationship will work out. Bakugo should be with no one. He is insanely toxic. I don't think man, woman, asexual, non-binary is what I meant, not asexual. Well, even asexual, anybody. Nobody should be in a romantic relationship with Bakugo. That should just not exist. Now, he's definitely calming down, but he is still explosive. But there are clear romantic interests in that show, specifically between our main hero and main heroine. But also, that's not the crux of the show. People worry about who's going to get with who when that's not even a part of the story. That's almost nothing to do with the story. Like, there are connections between Ochaku and Deku, but that's they put it in the story. Nice. You know, there's obviously a connection there, but it's not forefront. It is supplementary. And again, it's just so weird that you guys are so invested in two characters wanting to get together, where again, you would create also ship names. Like, I just thought of Sonic and Amy because I ran into a subreddit that's all about Sonic and Amy, which clearly that makes sense, you know, for them to romantically happen. But creating a whole subreddit just for the idea of two characters being romantic, why do you care so much about these characters' romantic lives? Like, it's like you don't even think about the rest of the game or story of these, you know, games or anime. You don't care about the story. You don't care about what happens. You just want these two characters to fuck. And you're so dedicated to it. It's a very specific type of brain rot that I cannot get behind. But going into Sonic, talking about, like, I hate ship names, and because, you know, people do that in real life. People will put two real life humans together. Just let them be. You could be happy for them if they're in a relationship, or you could be sad that they're with somebody who, you know, they're not really good with. Probably, like, that happens. But this, like, idolization of famous people, that's another talking about another thing. But people put real life people together in their heads, and that's even extra creepy. So doing it with fictional people is just so weird. It makes me wince. But let's talk about Sonic Frontiers when we're on this topic. Almost like the Deku Bakugo situation. For some reason, people were thinking that Sonic and Knuckles are romantic with each other just because they had friendly banter. That's it. Banter. That's it. They were very friendly, but very, like, cheeky to each other. And, like, they gave, you know, there was the one scene where they, gave each other like fun rivalry kind of like side eye type thing, and like they're totally like hot for each other. They're totally getting together. Like they love each other. They're both totally gay for each other. People could be friends. People could be friends. Like these type of people are the type of people who have never been in a relationship before. They don't know how human contact works. Just because you are friends with somebody doesn't mean you want to bone them. Every positive interaction doesn't equal romance. Like how chronically online do you have to be to not understand how human interaction works? I know Sonic's not a human, but they act like humans. Like, I've never understood this. Well, I just explained it. It's people who don't understand how relationships work. The people who have never gone outside and actually talked to a real person before. I know my earlier statements could be misconstrued. I have nothing against actual gay characters or any sort of representation when it's, done well. It's the making characters gay that aren't gay. That's what I have a problem with. I would have the same problem if you made a character who is gay, force them to be straight. Ellie from Last of Us is a great example. Even though I don't like how Last of Us 2 is written as a whole, there are certain things that are still really done well, like her sexuality. She is a lesbian. Cool. And they explore that very naturally, like how humans would react in the situation that they are in as a lesbian. And it has been established since the DLC of Last of Us 1 that she is indeed a lesbian. Now imagine if a bunch of people would then start shipping her with some of the male characters from Last of Us 2, which, by the way, don't remember anybody's name outside of Joel, and that's that father figure, which I know people do that too, but we're not getting to that. Imagine the other male characters in there, and people start shipping her with them. She's not into them. She will never be into them because she's into women. She's not straight. Don't make her straight. So just like straight characters, don't make them gay. Don't make characters what they are not, is what I'm getting to. It is very disrespectful, not only to the characters themselves, which is, they're fictional, I get the point, but it's disrespectful to the idea of the character as a whole, and it's even more disrespectful, like legitimately disrespectful, to the actual author and creators of these characters when you are forcing them into situations that they are not a part of, they will never be a part of, and you're forcing them to be what they are not. Shippers are cringe. Shippers are just cringe. Now, I know a couple people who are into shipping, like in a more calm way, and I don't necessarily like to yuck the yums of people in my personal life, but whenever I see it online, I can't help but to cringe. I just can't. So yeah, those are the two types of people that really grind my gears in fandoms. Now there's tier lists and fighting games. Well, that is a actually measurable thing based off of actual game mechanics that you could actually measure and how people play and how they work with other things. Like, that actually makes sense. Though that's not a story-based thing, that's just fighting games. Now, if there was a fighting game, if there was a shonen fighting game, which there technically is, but not like a good one, if there was a good shonen like fighting game like Smash, then sure, you could be like, well, Goku's A tier because of this, and Shin-chan is F tier. I don't know why I thought Shin-chan of all things. I'm fucking losing it. I'm broken. These people broke me. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. If you want to see even more, check out the links down below, where I spend more majority of my time on Twitch. And until next time, bye.